Time to switch over to a new season. I also like to wash the covers. That's a great way to save some money and get a fresh look. I don't do it every month. Some people do. I just do it seasonally, but it also is nice because it gives you the option to keep them clean because, you know, you've got that cover on there. You can see I've got a towel from my kitchen that I do swap out monthly just for preference, just like my art up there that I like to swap out. So I'll be showing the summer one I put in. A lot of those are free online. So just a great cheap way to refresh without spending a lot of money, and you can make a lot of this stuff yourself. This is just a close-up of the floral that I got more recently. I like to pick something that has a lot of color, different color choices, because then by season or just your personal preference, it gives you more options of where to go without having to buy a new pillowcase. So if I get, you know, in more of a brighter color mood, I could get pink or pillow accents or pink or purple accents. But right now I have dark green and it still goes, but it just gives you a lot of choice if you get a few things that are like multicolored. If you're more of a minimalist, then you could just do a solid color. But it's just a thought that, you know, consider getting something that's more than just one or two colors. Gives you more, you know, creative choice with your floral arrangements and other things like that. Just gives you more cohesiveness without everything matching perfectly and having to, you know, buy more things. All this stuff is now freshly washed. I'm going to put that back on. I don't have different seasonal pillows, but what I do is I take the floral ones and move them to the front for spring and summer. And then in fall and winter, I switch and bring the green velvet ones to the front. That kind of just freshens it up without having to spend more money on, you know, different pillowcases and things like that. I'm going to be swapping out the art. The ones up there I just got free. The ones I'm going to be putting in are photographs that I took on a trip to the coast. So just to give you an idea that you can get free art on, you know, a Google search, sometimes other places. You can also take your own pictures and print them out. And I didn't get them professionally printed. I just printed them off on my printer because as long as I used a pretty good quality of ink to put them in the frame, they look fine. If you don't have access to a printer, you can get things like that printed at Staples and other places, and it's still very cheap. I switch over to more of a beach theme for the rest of the summer. We don't live on the beach or anything, and I don't do completely that theme, but we do travel to the coast sometimes, and I love ocean. I love the sounds and the smells, and I love collecting shells and other found objects. So I may stop and show a few of those things that I've collected over the years. But that's what I do usually for like June, July, August. I'll still switch the art for like July and August to something different. But for the main part, I add some shells and other of that kind of decor to the area. I am going to put the runner back on that I washed. I don't really switch it out too often, but I do have some that I do for fall or things like that. I want to say I got it on sale at like Ross or something for really cheap. Which is good because I'm really cheap and I don't like to spend a lot of money, but I like to spend a little bit on something I know will get used over and over. And I do switch out the floral arrangements, not completely, but kind of like mix and match over as the weather warms up. I just wanted to show. So, for example, this isn't purchased. Like, this was something I've had for a very long time. I travel a lot as a kid, so this and a couple other of the shells were ones that were found when I was younger, and then this one's kind of a mixture of some that we purchased or found at various locations when we would travel as a family more recently. And then I have a few other little things. I just put them out on the shelves to kind of add a little, you know, change of season thing. If anyone's interested, I have one little set for sale, and I may do more just on Etsy and things. But it's also something, if you're interested, I could show how you can do that yourself and make it, you know, look nice and professional while not spending much money. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. It's nice to have personal art, and it's nice to be able to switch it out because it's such a cheap thing to make a big difference. So I'm going to be showing that. These frames I did find on Amazon, got them in a set of like 4 or 6 or something, because I also use them to frame our kids' school photos. I just wanted a matching set that was kind of sturdy, kind of simple, but not too modern. I'm not very modern, but I didn't want them to be too ornate either. I'm going to try to show this up close. Now this one I just didn't even have a lot of ink left, it looks like, and it was just printed on regular paper. But once it gets in the frame, you'll see it's really not very noticeable. And that's something you can do for, what, 10 or 20 cents for a copy at Staples. Or if you have your own printer or things like that. Or if you are artistic, you can paint your own art, or if you want your kids' art, whatever. It's just such an affordable way to do things. It looks like I got it a little crooked, but like from a distance on the mantle, you really can't tell the quality. There's probably a better method too that I could use. This became more of a consistent thing, I guess, than when I had started doing it. So I really should find a different way to like make sure the pictures don't shift, because sometimes I have to redo it. I keep them all in here because it doesn't take up much space, and I just like the convenience of knowing where they are when I need to switch seasons, and also just having they don't get wrinkled even if I print them on like a cheap paper. So hopefully I can get it in here and not be crooked. Let's see how we did. Okay, there we go. So that's not too bad. Sometimes it takes a bit of back and forth to find kind of your style, and I know that when I'm doing it, it's kind of weird to be filming because you'll see me like grab things, put them up, put them back, move them around, decide I don't like it. It takes a while before I decide kind of not too cluttered, but still being able to display some of the things I like.